So how do you make this series of works?
So this is the Sanguine method, and I reinvented the method by using Conte crayons instead of actual sanguine chalk or sanguine rock. And I take Conte crayons, shade them, and then use a diverse range of tools from tortillons to stumps to make up brushes, sponges, brushes for oil paintings, and I just shade and saturate the drawing as they go along. They get curated and then they get removed on. Okay, so these two particular pieces are from live drawing, and they're from a model called Andrew Crawford, I did some kind of collaboration with. I chose him because he has a particular sculpted body, and he did a lot of work for the BBC on medieval drawings and medieval period costume dramas. He has a very Botticelli-esque physique and facial features, so I found it was quite interesting, and I think it went really well to recreate the Sanguine collection because I think he had a very classy look. These pieces are a spin-off of the Alexander McQueen and Givenchy catwalk show of 2016. I was particularly inspired about the way they used gauzes and pearls to recreate some kind of grotesque features on top of their models. So I thought it would really go with my style because I do like to explore a lot of beauty versus brutality in my work, and I like to just exposing the contrast between the two. This piece is Faust, and is actually a replica of my old painting of Dr. Faust. This is a very different spin-off from the story of Dr. Faust, and it comes from a novel from an author called Ben Nye. And this novel is very different from the actual real story of Dr. Faust, and is a very grotesque satire. And it has a quite a strange story behind it because I found the book 20 years ago, read it, became obsessed with one chapter in it where the Dr. Faust finds a little toy doll when he's just about to die. And then I lost the book, and it took me another 20 years to find a copy of it. So basically there is an old painting version of this, which right now is in a 2-month solo show in London, and this is the Sanguine drawing. The model is called Jason Atomic, and is actually quite established in real life. He proclaimed himself a satanic mojo company, and is actually a cartoon caricature artist himself. Okay, this particular piece is from a different collection called the Osaka Death Machine. I started this series starting from this particular performer, which is called Hugh Noda. He has a musical project called Uterozza, and beside I think he has several musical projects after that, and he's been performing techno music around Japan for the last 15-20 years. I met him very randomly in London when he was playing some club up north. I didn't actually go to see him. I just liked the look that he had, which was very post-cyberpunk from the late 80s and early 90s. And I thought it was quite rare to find that kind of look this day. And so I just pretty much forced him to come and sit for me at very short notice, and I was very lucky I accepted. And we became very good friends after that. So I met him the first time in London, then I met him again in Japan. And after him, actually the Osaka Death Machine is one of his musical projects. And because I thought that I was actually quite interested in the whole outlook of the more dress-up culture of Osaka, and I mean on the Osaka alternative culture, not mainstream fashion. And after him, I actually contacted all the bands from there, which they were playing in London, or they were playing in Japan, so they posted for me as well afterwards, and that is turned into a collection of his own. Okay, so these are my last two pieces, and they are twin pieces, so they mirror each other, and they are based on my last trip to Japan when I was hanging around for the last few days around Harajuku district and Shinjuku at night, and I was actually walking along quite a lot because I felt like I could absorb the scenery better without talking to people, and I spent a lot of time walking around Paper Lantern streets, and I found it actually a little bit upsetting because there was a lot of antique culture and antique buildings, and I thought they were being warped by all the neon lights and everything that was so tacky and overly sexual around it in a very almost grotesque way. It just looked really cheap and tacky, and I thought that it was kind of destroying all the beautiful ancient culture around it. So I started to draw from old Japanese folk block cuttings from the Edo era, and then added symbols which I thought they were particularly important to me, like the honeycomb and bees, because to me they kind of symbolize nature. So for me it was again a contrast of the two, and I tried to add all the symbols which I thought they were relevant in the same piece.